Will silver and gold make you a millionaire? We're going to talk about that in this video because it very well could. But we need to consider, what does it mean to be a millionaire? There's a lot of factors we need to look at in regards to that. But what's the other side of the coin that a lot of us don't want to talk about, but we need to talk about? And it's important we talk about because it's critical for our life and the life of our loved ones. And it's what silver and gold can help us to escape, to avoid. And that's slavery, right? Let's put it blunt the way it is. The system is set up in many ways to basically enslave people for their entire lives. And we're going to dig into that as well. But let's talk about getting rich off silver and gold. You know, I read all the comments you guys put through, and every once in a while, somebody will put through a comment that'll say something like, "You're promising people wealth and riches from precious metals. You're misleading people. You're making them think they're going to get rich. Hey, thank you for the super chat, Ancient Tom. Much appreciated. $2 is a lot, right? Seriously, I appreciate that. $1 million is a lot. So am I promising people instant riches, lottery ticket riches, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency riches? No, I always say, right? I always say gold and silver's primary purpose is to help you to store your wealth, protect you against the money printing going on by the big governments. But could it make you rich? Could you get rich? Absolutely, you could, right? There's a chance. There's a 10, 15, 30% chance that we could see wild appreciation in the price of gold and the price of silver that could result in you. Thank you, Daniel, for the super chat. Wow, you guys are blowing me away. What an honor. That gold, silver, platinum, they could give you not just that safe harbor to stay in during times of turmoil, but on top of that, we could have major, serious price appreciation, right? Speaking of $1 million, we know the big money is buying silver and gold. We know CoinShop Chris shared with us a couple of weeks ago, with the permission of the gentleman who owns the shop where he works, that they had a customer who made $1 million purchase of silver and gold. Wouldn't that be nice? So is that guy going to become a millionaire? Let me ask you that question. The guy that bought silver and gold a few weeks back, right? Somebody who bought $1 million. Thank you, Keaton. Wow, you guys, that makes my heart warm every time. We appreciate the support here at the basement house, the Ron's basement house. Thank you. But think about that. The guy that bought $1 million, let's just say worth of silver 2 weeks ago, is he going to become a millionaire from silver? Well, he already is a millionaire from silver, obviously, right? I'd say now, if somebody bought that much silver 2-3 weeks ago, they may have made upwards of $50,000 or $100,000 in paper profits at this point. Could that silver at some point, right? Could that silver at some point be worth $5 million, $10 million? Absolutely. A lot of it depends, obviously, guys, on how much silver, how much gold you have. And how do you get it? Well, if you got a lot of money, right? If you have $100,000, or you have $1 million or 10 million, or you have 50,000, or you have $100, you can either buy it all at once or you can buy it little by little. I've been buying little by little, what I would say in chunks, for years, decades, 20 years almost now, right? And trust me, it adds up. I don't care how old you are. Look, I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story that's very moving to me, okay? I'm 53 years old. I basically retired when I was 38 years old. Yeah, I have a degree in accounting from a fancy college. I worked for a Big Four accounting firm. I owned my own business for about 15 years, did very, very well, right? I've always been super frugal. And that helps, because when you don't spend a lot of money and you're resourceful, right? Like I'm the kind of guy who might get attached to a shirt, like a red shirt, and wear it for 35 years, right? So Nonetheless, I retired. I took a little job by my house, a wonderful little job for a university. I love where I work, but it's a low stress job, a mile from the house, all that good stuff. I bought a silver little by little by little as time went by. Okay. You can live on a lot less money than you think. Okay, keep yourself out of debt. All right, that's a big key thing that you want to do. Keep yourself out of debt. That will help you in so many ways. But is the big money buying silver and gold? Let's remember, and most people speculate this was somebody from the Walton family. Earlier in the year, Andy Schechtman announced $50 million purchase. So is she going to become a millionaire from silver? I think, yeah, already like probably 50 or 55 times now she's become a millionaire from silver. But if you buy a little bit, little by little, it will add up, okay? And you'll get to a point where you'll be like, oh, wow, I did it. Oh, this is the story. I forgot to tell you the whole story, right? If you stick with something, if you do it little by little, if you buy silver, buy gold, buy platinum, little by little, look at all those ones. You guys, that and super chats make me feel very warm and fuzzy. We got 100 thumbs up. Don't let me forget my story. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For those of you who are new here, I ring the bell 10 times when we get to 100 thumbs up. That's one ring for each 10 thumbs up. Somebody at one point pointed out, one of you, that's ringflation. Now, little by little, you'll add up. You'll be amazed over time, and it's never too late. I don't care how old you are. I think a lot of my viewers are around my age, 50, 55, 60, 40s. I don't care if you're in your 70s or your 80s. Little by little, buying silver and gold, it will add up. You know, maybe if you're in your 70s, maybe buy it once every 2 weeks, maybe every month, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can still do once every quarter, but it'll add up. You know, when I got to be I guess I was 52 years old. I'm going to tell you a story about how things can add up quickly, little by little. And this is a story that's something that's probably become one of the most important things in my life. When I was 52 years old, I hadn't really worked in the business world for 15 years. I've been working my little job, which I love, and I wouldn't trade for the world. I work with the most awesome people. Okay, it's a mile from my house. Anyway, but it's an easy job. I was home during the day because I work in the evenings. I spent a tremendous amount of time with my daughters when they were little, before they went to school. As they were getting older, they got to be 10, 11 years old. I knew I wanted to do one more big thing in my life. I knew it. I knew I wanted one more accomplishment before I left this planet, okay? And I'd always been fascinated with you. Yeah, you. I've actually been fascinated with you, YouTube, and this whole idea that we could connect and make a community. And I said, darn it, I'm going to build a little YouTube channel with people out there everywhere from all around the world. And I knew, because I know me, right? I'll be honest with you, right? I'm a shiny red ball guy. Are you a shiny red ball boy or girl? Right? Something's new, it's fun, it's exciting, it's great for 6 weeks, 8 weeks. I knew that would be the case with growing the YouTube channel. I knew that once I committed to it, that I'd hit a point where I just didn't want to do it anymore. But I said, if I keep going every day, put out one video a day, little by little, connecting with people, talking with them about what they love, over time, it could grow and I could make wonderful friends, maybe have some great opportunities come along. And that's what I did. And I'm going to tell you, yeah, after 8 weeks, right, that's discipline. I'd said I was going to do it for 1 year. And I knew that after 8 weeks, I'd not want to do it anymore. I'd be burnt out. I'd be bored, whatever the case may be. That happened. And I kept going because it was that important, because you are that important to me. And I kept going. Now, that's exactly what you can do with stacking silver and gold, right? You may say, oh, I'm going to buy it every month. And there's going to come a month where you're like, nah, I don't want to buy it. I said I'd buy X amount every month or every 3 months. You got to stick to your plan. Discipline. When motivation fails you, discipline will absolutely not. So we got big money. Okay, let's get back to these million. Are you going to get to be a million? Yeah, you could get to be a millionaire, right? Now, there's a lot of different scenarios and a lot of different amounts, right? So let's say you got $50,000 worth of silver. It could go up. It could go up 20 times in value. But the other thing you got to consider is the actual value of $1,000,000. Like we talked about many times, we could be in a hyperinflationary environment. And when you look at the financial condition of the United States of America that our leaders have put us into, you're darn tootin' we could go into a hyperinflation environment. I don't care what they say. I'm going to take a drink and slurp. I'm sorry. We could really get into a hyperinflationary environment. And in that situation, yeah, silver could go up 20 times in value, but the price of goods and services, as long as they don't go up more than 20 times in value, you're coming out ahead, okay? The other way you can become wealthy with precious metals is the mining stocks. They can have tremendous gains. They can also have tremendous losses. Look, I've had a lot of money in precious metal mining stocks for years. In and out, sometimes good timing, sometimes bad timing. I've had a lot of money in since 2 years ago. Most mining stocks are down 25, 35, 40, 50, 60% from where they were 2 years ago. So yes, you can absolutely have unbelievable 10 times your money, 100 times your money, 5 times your money in the mining stocks, but you can also suffer big drawdowns. And I'm the first to tell you and the first to admit I've had some drawdowns over the last 2 years. Companies like First Mining Gold, Fortuna Silver, Equinox Gold. I'm becoming more and more positive on Equinox Gold, I have to admit. I actually had Greg Smith, the CEO. I've talked to him a couple times. He's been in Ron's, not been here physically, been on the show. I'm also very positive on First Mining Gold. Their CEO, Dan Wilton, sat right here. If you go through my videos a year ago right now, he flew to St. Louis because I've been a long-time shareholder of that company, years. I've made videos about them for years, and he sat down here. There's some good value opportunities in the mining sector. Seems like a lot of these companies couldn't go lower, but trust me, I would have said the same darn thing 2 years ago and 1 year ago, so who knows, right? Hey, Roger Yow, Brock Landers, Marshmaz. Yellen, that's the impact of BRICS gold standards. We're going to talk about the BRICS gold standard. You know what? We're going to talk about our old friend Yellen as well. So Janet Yellen went to China. For some BS reason, they said. We're almost to 200 thumbs up. You guys, thank you for the super chats. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you're not. It's free. CoinShop Chris brought that up last night. It's free for you to come here. It's free for you, right, to come to the basement, talk about silver and gold. And the thumbs up, that's free as well. Don't press the thumbs up twice because it takes your thumbs up away. It's an anti-thumbs up, if you know what I mean. Very interesting time. So yeah, the mining stocks can give us big, healthy returns. They can also give you big, healthy losses as well. So you want to be careful. You want to be careful. Let's talk about the truth about why the truth about why they don't want you to stack silver and gold, right? It's obvious right? The powers that be don't want you and me. They don't want the general American, hey, shiny white silver market. Yeah, that's right. I know I checked earlier. I don't know why. Thank you for the super chat. Why do you think they don't want us to stack silver and gold? It's real easy, right? They say, oh, silver and gold are kryptonite to the dollar, right? But there's a concerted effort by the powers that be, right, to kind of tarnish. I love using that word, to tamp down the interest in silver and gold, to tarnish silver and gold. I also think they don't regulate it very tightly because they want controversy to erupt in that area. And we've had some controversy lately in the silver and gold sector. Big bullion companies that were supposed to be buying silver and gold for their customers and storing it and All there was a shoebox with some paper in it, which comes back to that idea: if you don't hold it, you don't own it, right? If you don't hold it in your hand, you want to see a piece of silver? Let me know. If you want to see a piece of silver, I'll show you some silver. If you don't own it, if you don't hold it, you don't own it, right? Like CoinShop Chris says. CoinShop Chris also says gold and silver are the only forms of real money. Everything else is unicorn fart dust. Electronic money, paper money. I don't know. It's just been dawning on me. Do you have that happen in your life where, like, maybe because the silver price did so well last week, but I was just that realization, that moment of knowing, of enlightenment, where you realize something to be true. You know it in your gut, right? Your stomach. They say the stomach is the second brain. Did you know, this is not a human anatomy channel, but I'm going to tell you something I know that I've read. I have broad interest, in case you haven't noticed, that there's more nerve connections between your brain and your stomach than anywhere else in your body. That's why people get gut feelings, right? That's why people say, all these different terms, which I can't think of right now, related to their stomach and their knowing and their thinking. They say, like, the stomach is the second brain. And my gut, it's been hitting me lately. Like, I'm going to show you a piece of silver. Here, I'll show you one from definitely one of my favorite people in the world, CoinShop Chris, right? Look at that beautiful silver buffalo round. Yeah. Okay. This is real. And it just hits me like, paper versus that? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? You're trying to tell me that you would rather have paper money, or even better, electronic money, than that? Come on, man. Are you trying to kill me? So why do they not want you to stack silver and gold? So why, right? Why? There's got to be, think about it. There's got to be a reason, right? Because they know it's valuable and it competes with the US dollar, which is based on nothing but trust, right? And we're in a situation right now where people are starting to not trust the US government. Look, I don't like it. I live in the United States of America. You probably maybe do as well. You may live somewhere else. I imagine if you do, maybe you don't have as high of regard for the U.S. government, not the people. The people here are awesome. 99% of the people in this country are awesome. I mean, that's a fact, but it's the government and, the powers that be that have kind of abused their privilege of the dollar as the reserve currency, right? It's based on trust, just trust. That's all it is. It's paper, right? This is paper. Paper. That's paper. Woo, paper. I like $2 bills, but it's based on trust, confidence. And what are the first three letters in confidence? Con, right? It's a con job. It's a trust job. And when that trust goes, right, so does the value of, this is just nothing but, woo, look at it, paper, right? Right? Or unicorn fart dust, or whatever you want to call it. So they don't want you to stack silver and gold. I think to a certain degree, right, the more I'm getting deeper and deeper into this gold and silver and platinum bullion arena, and I see some, right, most of the people in the business are awesome, but there's a segment that's a little questionable, I guess you might say, that they want that, right? Because then they can say, oh, look, you get gold and silver are a scam. We need to make sure that we're dealing with quality people. And this is not a soapbox, but I mean, we got to make sure that the people in this business have high ethics and high morals, right? Because we know silver and gold, no matter what, are real money. But if they try to tarnish the whole industry, that doesn't help for more stackers to come on board. This last week, something's resurfaced, and it's very important to me. And I was thinking about this earlier, and it just, again, it's something else. I love when my heart gets warmed up, and that is the number of women that are coming in. Let me ask you guys a question. If you're a woman, okay, let's recognize them right now, because we got more and more women coming into the silver and gold stacking arena, and that is absolutely awesome, okay, on many levels, right? Women are smart. I live with three of them. My mom was a woman. Women are the backbone, right? And let's just be real. It seemed like to me when I first got into this business, this was a men-dominated, boy-dominated business. Stacking. Now we've got women coming in. Guys, boys, listen up, boys. I got news for you. And they've always been stackers. Buddy Rumble brought that up. He said women have always loved to stack gold. They were smart. They just had chains and rings made out of it. Nonetheless, actual stacking of physical silver and gold. Now more women coming in. Last time I checked, there's about as many women in the world as men. We could have twice as many people or a lot more, right? And they're just as important as we are. June 14th every year is International Women's Silver Day. I designated that. You're going to hear a lot more about that over the next 11 months. But if you're a woman, Annie Oakley, I got a feeling you're a woman. Yes, I identify as a woman. Tell me. I want to read your name right now. I'm just curious. How many women? Hello, Snakebite. Good to see you, my friend. Hello, Sir Law. In the comments, type woman. That's all I want. And I want to see how many women. We the people, Andrew McKelvin, we gotta love the mama bears, yeah. Or if you love the women stackers, right? We guys, it's awesome that they're here. Ask Neil, Ron, LOL. Clifton identifies as an old man. Yeah, I'm getting there myself. And Neil's laughing. Neil's a great guy. You know why you stack? Because it's dog-eat-dog world. Each man, woman, child, infant, embryo for herself. How do you spell embryo? Just Jay. Good one. The Desert Rose is a woman. Kirsten Iverson. In Denmark, if I've got that right, is a woman. I'm sorry, I couldn't remember what country. Danish. I was lost. A fiat millionaire, says Jim. Ancient Tom. He is a woman lover. Yeah, I love one woman, says Jeremy. I love women, says Domestic. Clifton. Ha ha ha. Daniel Cassidy. Keep on stacking. Woman. Rachel. Hoy. He. Yeah, thank you. Annie Oakley. My mom was a woman. Darndest thing. We the people, that's what she said. Everybody's laughing at Neil. Neil's always having a good time, man. Neil from Neil Hawn's Dynasty. Neil is the platinum guru, okay? Coin Shop Chris, somebody emailed me this morning with a complicated question about coins. Coin Shop Chris, always helping people. I tell you what, my wife has been on board with me buying silver and gold for over 30 years. Thank you, Wyant Beatty. Kenosha says, good evening, stackers. Kenosha, Wisconsin? I was there 3 years ago. I love Kenosha. Kenosha, what's that, Racine? Yeah, my mother's mom was a musketeer. My wife is a real woman. Yeah, so is my Susie. Roger Yao, $2 silver was a good living when on the gold standard. If your home is paid for, mine is, if silver is monetized, think about how much of today's money to live on. $1 silver per hour wage. Yes. Hey, Silver Platoon. Nice to be a part of a live. Yeah. Wow, Australia, Tasmania. We have a Tasmanian devil with us. Remember that? I don't know if that's, hopefully you don't take that as the opposite of a compliment, a cut down, right? We're glad you're here from Tasmania. Women, Marsha's a woman. Wee man, Joe Fowler's a wee man. Joe Fowler? Oh, hey, Joe. Coincidental, you just put one through. We got the 200 thumbs up bell from our good friend Joe Fowler. All right, there we go. Thank you, Joe. Thanks for the 200 thumbs up, guys. That's a big deal. See, I'm paying attention to the comments. That's what CoinShop Chris told me. He said, you got to pay attention to those darn comments. So, right? Why don't they want you to stack silver? Why don't they want you to stack gold, right? Because, thank you, Shiny White. Wow, thank you for the super chat. That's very nice. They don't want you to stack silver and gold because it's competition for this, right? I mean, come on. Paper versus silver and gold? Are you kidding me, man? Come on, man. Really? Huh? Yeah. Right? And we know what the big money's doing. We know what 50 million buys, 1 million. I was talking to Ariane. He's one of the top executives at Silver Gold Bull. He told me over the last month when the price of silver was going down, the big buyers were buying. The big money was buying, right? Unfortunately, a lot of the retail guys, and if that's you, that's me as well, right? I'm not a whale, right? They don't buy until the price starts going up, but the big guys are buying silver and gold and platinum, right? So we know what the millionaires are doing. We know they're getting out of the paper money. You know, we know what the BRICS countries are doing. I read an in-depth analysis of the new BRICS gold currency. Okay. And at the end of the day, I'll save you hours of reading. It basically said this. It said, it's going to happen. It's going to be big. It's going to be a big, big deal. And the Western countries are not happy about it, right? A gold-backed currency, okay? And that the Western media has basically blacked it out. They aren't talking about it, right? It's what do they call that? When you ignore something, denial almost. They're just forgetting. They don't want to talk about the fact that Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Saudi Arabia, I mean, it just blows me away. And the other thing, very interesting, right? Very interesting that this article pointed out. Strength in numbers. You ever had that experience in life where you're in a situation, maybe there's something going on in your neighborhood and like you and four of your other neighbors get together and you're like, we got to deal with this. That's what's going on in the world. The BRICS have strength in numbers because China's got 1.4 billion people. India has 1.4 billion people. Those are just two of the BRICS countries. And now there's like 48 of them altogether. That's 2.8 billion people. That's like 8 or 9 times the amount of people in the United States. Their economies are growing. Their middle class is growing. They also, I mean, there's even more. They got 9 times as many people with a growing middle class, right? But guys, they love silver and gold in China and India. Do you know that in India alone, they've got 25,000 metric tons of gold in their households? That's not their central bank. Just people at their houses have 25,000 metric tons. Oh, but the United States of America has the biggest gold reserve in the world, although nobody's darn seen it for 65 years. There's this place called Fort Knox. We got all the gold in the world. We just can't show it to anybody. Really? That's interesting, right? They have, thank you, Mike McCann, the Indian households have 3 times as much gold as the United States government. And we're supposed to be the richest government in the world. So all those people, and they're moving towards a gold-backed currency, and they're growing. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to find a negative, and there are people who are saying the BRICS gold, it's not going to be good for silver. It's not going to be good for gold. Even though we get reports that in 2 years, the solar industry is going to be consuming half of the world's production of silver per year. What does that leave over for the defense industry? What does that leave over for the electric car industry? What does that leave over for investors? Oh, yeah, right? Yeah. And don't forget, man, I am on a roll. I love you guys today. Thank you for the motivation, right? SWIFT banking system, abandoned ship. Yes, Marsh Maz, they are abandoning the SWIFT system. Nonetheless, on top of it all, how much silver do you own? I don't want you to tell me. I'm just asking you. Think about how much silver you own. If you own more than 2.5 ounces, so here, I'm going to overestimate. No, you know what? Hold on a second. Hold on. Here we go. Here. All right. Is this a half ounce? I don't know. There's a half ounce. If you own more than this, if your stack is bigger than this, right? That's 2.5 ounces. Sorry, I chew my fingers like a weevil. I'm going to stop doing that soon. Anyway, if you have more than that silver, you got more silver than the average person in the world because there's only 2.5 ounces of silver available for every citizen of the world, of our planet. And we're all on the same darn planet, right? So you're doing good. You're doing better than average if you've got over 2.5 ounces of silver. So why don't they want you to stack silver and gold? I wonder, right? Right? Because they want you to be a slave. Look, this is something I believe 100%. I know to be true, right? The whole system is not set up for you to own silver and gold and be your own central bank. No, the whole system is set up for you to be a debt slave for your life. It's not pleasant, right? And it's not something that most people think about. But since you come down here in the basement, you want to be your own central bank. You want the safety and security available through things like gold and silver. We're going to talk about it because it's important, right? The whole system. My kids go to the public schools. They aren't teaching my kids anything about money, right? No. They're teaching my kids about how to basically, they're training them to be good little slaves. I have to train them on the smart side of life. I have to tell them, hey, you might want to really consider maybe starting your own business. What do they ask the kids at the public schools? They teach them how to read and write and become good little worker bees, right? Right? I'm the one who has to teach them about starting their own business. Okay, now it's even most important because there's one way that they trap you and me and your kids, right, into the system. It's called debt. You ever hear that term, debt slavery, right? Right? Gold is the currency of kings. Silver is the currency of gentlemen. And debt is the currency of slaves, right? They get you into debt. And what do they teach the kids? They teach them how to become good worker bees, and then they tell them, you got to go to college. You got to go to, and I'm not against college. I went to college, right? But the reality is anybody can go to college now. If you have a pulse, there's many universities that will take you with a pulse and some money. You got to have two things, a pulse and money. You can get into college, okay? And where do people get their money to go to college? They go into debt. Right? So what winds up happening is, and that's what they're taught. They're taught, go to school, go to college, get into debt, right? And then go get a job and work the rest of your life paying off all the other debt you're going to get on top of your student loan debt, your car debt, your house debt, your credit card debt, because you got to go on a spring break trip every year, right? You'll be paying for it for the rest of your life. And I'm not against having fun experiences, but nobody teaches us about money. Now, I'm lucky. I studied accounting. I understand money, right? But you have to even go on your own into the jungle to understand the reality of the way the system works. And the system, even if you understand accounting, understand money, you have to understand how they set you up to be, it's much easier to fall into the path of being a debt slave for your whole life than it is to being independent, right? I was lucky when I was young. I made a lot of money when I was in my 20s. I bought my houses. I paid for them. I have zero debt. I have zero debt today. I hate debt personally, right? I understand. Look, I'll be honest with you. Part of me thinks, boy, I wish I had a mortgage on this house at 3% right now and I could put that money into silver, but I can't, right? If I want to get a mortgage on this house now, it'd be at 7%, and I still feel safer without debt. The whole system, guys, is set up to get you to work for the rest of your life without, and they don't want you to have silver. They don't want you to have gold. So the BRICS thing, let's circle back to that, right? Let's circle back to that. It's the biggest story going. And we're what? We're like 5 weeks away from hearing about a gold-backed currency. At least that's every indication. Okay? Every indication. And there's a media blackout on it in the West. Because you know why? They don't want people thinking gold, silver. No, when they want the average person in America. I don't know, I'd be curious what you think about this. They want the average person in America, the person on the street when they think of gold and silver, they're just like, oh, whatever, they kind of maybe know it's valuable, but would they invest in it? No. Even like supposedly educated people. I know a lot of people with master's degrees and doctorate degrees, right? Smart. They're smart. They really, and I'm not putting anybody with higher education down, but they're really good at memorizing things and paying money to get a stamp of approval. You're smart. Boom. Ask somebody like that about silver and gold. I don't know. I think the smartest people are you, right? People like you, right? That actually dig in, are willing to look at things from a different perspective. When it comes to silver and gold and platinum, that's what we're doing, right? We're digging in. We are. And now Adrian's bringing up that China announced the date is July 22nd for the BRICS currency. Has anybody else heard that? Thank you, Adrian, for sharing that. Hello, Snakebite. Uh-oh, did I forget something? Coin Shop Chris? I missed a super chat. Oh, my God. Hold on. I'm sorry. Let me see if I can see it. Sorry. Snakebite! Thank you, my friend. Snakebite, you're so generous with me. It is much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Snakebite. Snakebite also sent me this, which I got to tell you, I'm very, very fond of. It is a unicorn, because we like to talk about unicorn fart. Look at that. It even looks good on camera. Where's the camera? There it is. Isn't that beautiful? Don't you just love silver? I don't own any physical gold. I got a gold back. And maybe we have a gold chain upstairs. But, man, that is, to me, I got to be honest, probably, all the silver that you guys have sent me warms my heart, but that's absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Snakebite. I appreciate it. Where was I? 822. Fiat currency is a derivative of real money. I'm going to drink some coffee. Hold on a second. And I'm going to tell you what. When silver and gold take off, and I think there's a chance, silver right now is on the launch pad. CoinShop Chris and I were talking last night. I said, hey, you know what, guys? I believe that next week we're going to have $27 silver. I think it's within the realm of possibilities that next weekend we could be talking about $27 silver. I'm not betting money on it. Don't make any financial decisions based on what I'm saying. But I just have a feeling, and this Vince Lachey guy was talking about the same thing. The analyst community, the press, you're starting to see little stories pop up about silver in particular. Neil can tell you about platinum. Okay, go check out his channel. There's a platinum story as well. There's a gold story as well. All three of the metals, they're like siblings, right? In a family. There's like big brother gold, middle brother silver, little brother platinum, or middle brother platinum. I don't want to get Neil mad at me for calling platinum the little brother. But nonetheless, man, when they go, it's going to be furious, right? And everybody's talking about silver going much, much faster. It's going to be absolutely, I don't want to get to 300 thumbs up, because if we do, it's been a while. Oh, we can't even see the bell. Hold on a second. I'm going to move you guys. Let's see if this looks better. Oh, yeah. That kind of looks better. You guys like that better? You like it when I'm a little further away? I can't read at all now. How's that? I'll ring the bell with my nose. And my nose is fully recovered. I had to go to the, what do you call it? The little doc in the box. That's what my parents call it. Drives me crazy. The urgent care, because I injured my nose on a live stream hitting this with my nose. I don't know. Interesting. $30. Richard Cooper, our good friend Richard Cooper in the UK. That's you, right? Richard Cooper says $30 by the end of August. You're welcome. Yeah, I try to mute now when I drink my coffee. Here, I'll show you. I got a mute button. But you can hear me now. There's a little blue light. When it's on, that means you can hear me. Platinum, questions, please. All caps. Something you want to talk about? Something you want me to address? And then maybe the community to talk about? All caps. We got a lot more to talk about, guys. We got a lot more to talk about. How about, oh boy, how about, do you like this camera angle better when I'm a little further away? Let me know. Now, Unicorn needs a fart button. Yeah, we need a new set of the Hunt Brothers. Yeah, I watch your videos every day. Hey, that's awesome, guy, man. You inherited my father's coin collection. Then I started stacking about 5 years after. Wow, that's awesome. Man, that's awesome that you're dad. That's what I hope to do with my children as well. Pass it on, right? Generational wealth. Gold is the standard. My head's cut off on top. Oh, no. Hold on. Let me look. I can look and see, I think. Hello? Oh, hello? I'm waving. Man, I think you guys are really delayed from what I'm seeing. I don't know here. I don't know what's going on. Oh, boy. I got to look at the chat. I'm coming back. I'm back. I'm good. Okay, cool. I'm fine. Okay. Overscan. Got it. Okay. 5x5. Jimmy Smith. All right. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Brian Rodriguez. Hey, guys. It's that time of the live stream. Okay. You're a basement dweller when you're here with me in Ron's basement. We love our silver and gold. We're sitting around the campfire together talking about our number one favorite subject, precious metals. But you've joined us from all over the world to come to our little campfire here. I want to know where you're from, and I want to read where you're from because it's important that you're recognized. If you want me to read your name, tell me where you're at, and I will say it, and I'll do it right now, and I'll try to keep up the best I can. Type where you're from in the comment section, please. You have to be subscribed to comment. William Ellis is number one from Iowa. Take us outside on a walk. I'll do that in the future. I promise. Mississippi, Judith. Earth. Neil's on Earth. Chris is on the moon. Utah, Metabol. Down the road, Ancient Tom. Snakebite is from Missouri. The great state of Missouri. That's what we call Missouri. I get you, Snakebite. No doubt, man. Texas from Matt. Bart Stapleton, Atlanta. Blaine N. Society's outcast down here in the basement. We're not, though. You know, I'm going to talk about that, Blaine. I'm not busting you. I appreciate you bringing that up. I got to remember that. Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. Stephen Cicchini. Adrian's on Montreal, the second floor. Joe, Sunday in Ron's basement. Iceland. Ingimar. We got somebody from Tasmania and somebody from Iceland. Guys, think about, man, we're all together right now. Someday we will all be together. Georgetown, Texas. Just Jay, Brian Rodriguez is in Georgetown, Texas. Just Jay is in California. AA's in Washington State. Me and my drone are in Southern California. Jimmy Smith is in Paducah, Kentucky. I want to go there. It's not too far from here. Oh, man, I hate when this happens. This is horrible. Hold on. Wait a minute here. Oh, my gosh. Iceland. Oh, I'm not giving up on you. Clifton is in Clifton, California. 80-1 now, silver to gold ratio. Nick at Night is in Indiana. Roger Yao. My guard dog is cuddled up watching the video. Quartzsite, Arizona. Jerry Modi Jr. Annie Oakland. FEMA Region 7. Joe's in New York. My friend, I can't pronounce that, is in Israel. Guys, Israel. Isn't this crazy? Horse country, John Schreerer. When I was in college, I went to the Kentucky Derby, and one of the guys we went with, his parents owned a horse farm. What the hell was it called? It was a Blue Hat. Brookdale Farms, I think it was. It was a thoroughbred breeding farm. 805, California. Graham Bird's in England, 40 ounce to freedom. Anthony Richardson's in the Bay Area. Angel MC's in Scotland. Wow. Barbados is in Wales, UK. Southwest Virginia, Wayne LeMay. Hey, Wayne, good to see you, buddy. Daniel Cassie's in New Brunswick, Canada, if I have that correct. EVB's in Arizona, Out of Times in San Francisco, Thomas Tubes is in Mississippi, Jim Green's in Long Island, New York, Mark Hoka's in Ohio, Tim Diaz is in Wyoming, Richard Cooper's in Staffordshire, the UK, Marshmaz is in British Columbia, Cuba, Queensland, Australia for Paul Orchard, Al Wright Jares in Bryan, Texas, Blaine's in the East. Oh boy, I lost you again. Oh boy. Ontario, man, you guys are everywhere. 40 ounces. Destin, Florida, carry C-130s in Tampa. Chuck Robertson's in Marietta, Georgia, Minnesota, Philadelphia. I think it's safe to say we are a geographically diverse group today. Kenneth is in Philadelphia. Joe is in Houston. Whew. Silver Lunatics in O'Fallon, Illinois, just about 30 minutes from me. Jack Swanson's in Calgary. Mr. Mystery Guest is in British Columbia, Canada. Wow. Liverpool, UK. Oh my gosh. You guys, I can't keep up. Okay. Edgar Thomas is in Michigan. Gerald Draper is in Chicago. I'm a DePaul graduate. I love Chicago. Halia Refugees in Florida. Afghanistan. Wow. Omid, good to see you, my friend. Arkansas. Busch Gardens is near Tampa. Oh, that's Neil. I love amusement parks. Taylor, Michigan, Guyman. France. Pintre, Airless, Lorient is in France. Kenneth is in Philadelphia. Yes, my friend from Israel. South Carolina, Pawpaw Strategy. Paducah, Big Annual Barbecue. Shiny Whites in Delaware. Silver Lunatics in Effingham. Beaverton, Oregon. Northern Virginia. Frank in Lonely Quark. Oh my gosh. C-130. Brisbane, Australia. Oh my gosh. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Guys, thank you for telling me. I mean, think about it. We are, and Blaine said we're outcast, and he was joking around, right? But guys, we are, right? I mean, we're not outcast. We are like how do you say it? Especially in the West, like I talked about earlier, right? We are kind of the outcast, right? We're the loners, we're the rebels, if you want to call it that, right? Because we're supposed to put our money in the bank, we're supposed to go into debt, and we're supposed to work our job for the rest of our life and pass away and not have any money so that our kids can do the same thing. And we are not that. We are willing to learn and to push the limits, right? We are in the U.S., we are like, and I think it's most of these places that you're joining us from, we aren't the majority, right? But what's interesting, think about this. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, all these countries. And again, right, big announcement coming. And guess what? Over there, it's the exact opposite. Over there, everybody owns precious metals, right? And only a little tiny, the outcasts, the rebels over there, they don't. It's completely opposite of what we have here. And you know, we've got history on our side, don't we? Do you feel like you have history on your side when it comes to precious metals? Because you do. You have thousands of years of history on your side, right? Your little stack of silver, gold, whatever you have, platinum, palladium, you've got history on your side, right? And you have the universe on your side, or God, if that's what you believe in. I'm not a religious channel. I'm, whatever you believe, but it's what's on this planet. It's what's valuable. It's real. If you came over here and we went out in my backyard and I got my rocket out, I got a rocket, let me tell you, and we shot up to our satellite, and we were on our satellite, and some Martian came and joined us on the satellite, some alien, because there's aliens coming to Earth now. You've probably heard about that. Well, some alien joined us on our satellite, and we were looking down at Earth, and he was like saying, boy, I wonder what I want to take from Earth, right? And we could say, well, there's this stuff called silver and this stuff called gold, which has been cherished for thousands of years. But now there's part of the world that's been fooled, and they believe, you see how there's all that green stuff on the planet? Those are trees. There's an infinite amount of trees. They make the stuff called money out of paper, and some people think that's valuable. And that Martian would scratch his head. And then you could tell him, and guess what? There's even some things down there that you can't even see. There's electronic money that people think is valuable. What do you think he would want? I think I know what he would want. He would want the silver and the gold. I'm sorry. I'm darn sorry. Honolulu, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, snakebite. Oh, wait a minute. I got the Silver Deegan Club. Wow, thank you. Hey, you guys are busy. Yes, thank you, Silver Deegan Club. Always appreciated, never expected. Man, I got another super chat. Jeff, Reedy, Chris, Susie, not forgetting everyone else, just forgetting their names. Neil, right? Neil from Neil Hahn's Dynasty, our other friend. I hear thunder outside again, as you guys may know. My electricity goes out anytime it thunders. So if I lose you, I love you, but I'm going to keep going for now, okay? Thank you guys for the super chats. That goes a long way, right? I do limited sponsorships, very selective sponsorships on this channel. I've taken one so far out of probably 60 or 70 or 80. So I want to say thank you. Yeah, and guys, you can always go check out, if you want some interesting information, okay, about silver, very interesting. There's two places you can go on Reddit. You can go to Wall Street Silver, or you can go to the Silver Deegan Club. That will satisfy every need you have for information about silver. I was reading an article last night on, I think it was the Silver Deegan Club, about the movement in the contracts on the electronic markets, right? We know. Did I get another super chat? You guys. Frank, hey, Frank, you. Yes, derivatives of commodities will collapse. Go check out the Silver Deegan Club. There was this article somebody posted, I forget the guy's name, about due diligence, but it was about how the number of contracts, like in the silver market, had exploded. There's weird stuff going on the electronic markets for silver, gold, and I imagine platinum as well. You know, I mean, the West has had a monopoly on managing the silver price and the gold price. The COMEX in America and the LBMA, the London Bullion Market Association, which is even older, it's about to break. Okay, now look. Like I said, Stuart Englert, who wrote the book on silver and gold manipulation. I'm going to have him on in another couple of weeks. Super smart guy. He laughed. He joked. He said, yeah, it's going to break. He said, we've been waiting 15 years for it to happen. So, but it's going to happen, right? I don't think it's going to be another 15 years. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you, Frank, for the super chat. There's just so much going on, and I forget one of the gurus, right? I'm not an expert. Nobody's really an expert, but one of the respected people out there in the silver and gold community brought up the point that the power structure now, right? It used to be that the COMEX and the LBMA, they controlled it. They had just a lock on the silver and gold price. That's not the case anymore. China and the East, and we know again what's going on with the BRICS countries, they are getting more and more powerful when it comes to controlling the market for the precious metals. And that's only going to get more and more and more of the power being shifted. We know the actual physical metals, a lot of people are saying, are being moved from the West, from New York, from London to the East. They're like, sure, we'll buy it at that price. Sure, we'll buy it. We'll buy silver at $22. We'll buy all you can give us. We'll buy gold at $1,800. We'll buy all you can give us. They're getting desperate. Okay. Think about this. If the Fed, I don't think I've uttered Jerome Powell's name during this broadcast, but if they were getting desperate, if they were scared, I want you to think about this. Do you think they would be making that public? Thank you. Another super chat. Man, you guys are just shiny white. Thank you. Yeah, 45 minutes till the silver market opens. Hey, if we get to 300 thumbs up, I will. I was going to stop banging the bell with my nose, but I will do it. Okay. I know. It's fun, right? I joke around. I know a lot about silver and gold, guys. I know a lot about how markets work. This is more about community to me, and fun and entertainment and education all wrapped into one. So I don't care. I'll ring the bell with my nose. If somebody doesn't like it, they can go, like Coin Shop Chris likes to say, go watch Roadrunner cartoons. Boy, I hear more and more thunder going on out there. So if they were getting desperate, if the COMEX and the LBMA, if Jerome Powell, right? If Janet Yellen is getting desperate, and don't worry, I'm going to get Janet out here in just a minute for you. I know you want to see Janet in the box, but they were getting desperate. The last thing they're going to do is let on to that, okay? And things are changing in the world right now like no other time in history. Okay, President Xi was visiting, that's the president of China, was visiting with Vladimir Putin. Susie hates the way I say Putin, I don't know, whatever it is, war, whatever. Anyway, as they were leaving, and these guys like each other, these leaders really like each other. President Xi said to Putin, he said, we are living through a period of change like no other time in the last 75 years, and we are leading the way. Things are changing, okay? It's a very potentially, right? I'm not trying to scare anybody, but potentially very scary time right now. Thank you again for the super chat, Shiny White. Wow, I'm overwhelmed. So it's good to be prepared, okay? It's good to be prepared. Janet Yellen, let's talk about her for a minute. Janet Yellen, think about this. Does it make you scratch your head and go, when you think about this? Janet Yellen's the Treasury Secretary of the United States. She's leading us into a situation right now, Janet Yellen, where we have, I guess it's 33 trillion. Somebody yelled at me the other night. I don't know, 34 trillion? Who knows? Since we've been on this live stream, we've probably accumulated another 80 billion worth of debt in the United States. We have this huge pile of debt. Okay, 130% of the GDP. No other country in history has ever been able to recover from that. Are things getting desperate, I ask you? Do you think things are getting desperate? I ask you. Huh? No country's ever come back after having that much debt as a relation to their GDP. But wait, there's more. These politicians in Washington and their efforts to pillage you and me and our kids' and grandkids' future, you know what they've done? They can't figure out that if they spend more every year than they bring in, it adds to that debt. So they're adding to that debt. But wait, there's more. It gets even crazier when you consider that interest rates have gone up, and they have to keep refinancing that 35 trillion in debt. And when the interest rates go up now, every time that they're refinancing it, the amount of interest expense that the government is paying. Guys, this is big, okay? This is huge. The amount of interest expense that our government is paying because interest rates are going up, and they keep adding to the debt and have to refinance the debt is now projected to be maybe $1.3 trillion within 12 months. $1.3 trillion a year. So where are they going to get that money from? Guess what they're going to do? That's going to be part of the deficit. So that'll add on to the debt pile. Does it feel like maybe it's a debt spiral? It's a debt spiral. That's what it is, It'd be like if you got to a point where you had so much debt, so much credit card debt and everything else that you couldn't make the interest payments. So you were borrowing more money to make the interest payments on your credit cards, which was putting you more in debt, which made your interest payments go up. Do you get it? I mean, it really is not rocket science. And I don't mean that to sound condescending in any way. We're screwed. The only way out, right, is to either crash everything and say, sorry, we're not paying you, or to print, make more make-believe money, right, paper money, and that's going to dilute the currency. That's like going to the grocery store, buying yourself a fifth of Jack Daniels, right, coming home, pouring it in your Kool-Aid pitcher, and then putting, another 10 ounces of water into it and saying, well, now I got more Jack Daniels. No, you don't. Right? And that's what they're doing to the US dollar. In the end, right? Here's the dollar. I'm sorry, guys, but this is so important. Here's the dollar. Here's the euro, the yen, right? Oh, the dollar's so powerful. The dollar's, blah. It's like a seesaw, right? What they don't tell you is the seesaw, the fulcrum, the center point, right, is built on quicksand. It's sinking, right? So they say, oh, look, the dollar's doing great relative to the euro. Well, they're all sinking. It's like three guys jumping out of the top floor of the Empire State Building. They're all going down. One of them's going down faster than the other, and the guy going down the slowest, maybe that's the dollar saying, hey, I'm doing great. No, you're not. You're headed for a darn crash, right? You're headed for a darn crash. Hello, Sarge. Wow. Sarge, we haven't seen you forever. Welcome back to the basement, my friend. I know you've been out on I forget how you would describe that, out working. We'll put it that way. Oh my God, we got the 300 thumbs up. Do you guys really want me to do the nose thing where I hit that bell with my nose? Since we don't have a church bell or a dinner bell down here yet. The nose. All right, Annie, I'll do it 3 times. 1. Uh-oh. 2. 3. Oh, man. Whew. All right. Thank you very much. Silvershire. Deployed. Thank you, Sarge. Man, I'm having one of those days. I don't know if you guys have that happen when you get to be in your 50s where, like, you know the word, but you don't know the word. I know one thing for sure. I'm really lucky you decided to join me today, okay? It's a big, hey, Frank, thank you, my friend. Thank you. It's a big deal. Super chats are a big deal to me. I appreciate it. It's awesome. I can't say thank you enough, but it's a big deal you guys have joined me here in the basement. I mean, you know what? We hang out. We love to talk about this stuff, silver and gold. Yellen, where is she? Do you guys want to see Janet? Okay, this is big. This is what I'm talking about. If they're freaking out, I'm not saying they are. No, they only had emergency meetings on a Sunday, 8 weeks ago? Because we had banks collapsing. I mean, do you realize that we had 3 banks collapse, 3 of the 4 biggest banks collapse in the history of the country, and that like the size of the banks, just those 3, was bigger than all the banks that we had collapsed during the great financial crisis? Do you realize that? That's how quickly this stuff can happen. It can roll up, excuse me. It can roll up like that thunderstorm that interrupted this live stream earlier. It can hit like nothing. We had more banks collapse from a dollar perspective just like 9, 10, 12 weeks ago than we had during the entire financial crisis. Okay? That's a big deal. That happened lickety split. And Janet here, she's got herself locked in the box. Janet, yes, that Janet, right? She had emergency meetings with Jerome, and Jerome's serving as the stand for my microphone, so I'm not going to get him out. But think about this, okay? Janet just went to China, and it was announced. It wasn't secret, right? And they said it was whatever they said it was for. Likely, I'm not saying definitely, but likely it was for another reason. Do you think the timing, 6 weeks, 5 weeks before this big BRICS nation, is that just coincidence that we sent Janet over there? I don't know. I'm scratching my head. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm scratching my head. Oh, I wonder if Janet's trip had anything whatsoever to do with gold and silver and the new BRICS currency. Because several people have pointed out, right, that maybe part of the reason why she was over there was telling them that they need to buy U.S. Treasuries. Because coincidentally, when she came home, the price of U.S. Treasuries went down, down, down. Okay? Now think about this. Think about this connection. Is it just coincidence that Janet, didn't she have another job before she was Treasury Secretary? Oh yeah, she was head of the Federal Reserve, where Jerome Powell sits now. I mean, come on, man, give me a break. They want us to believe all this stuff, this BS that they tell us. I don't know. I just don't get it. All right, any questions, please put them now in all caps. I'm ready for you. Breakable silver for barter. Yeah, that's an interesting concept. I think it's Valcami has those little, they're like, look like the size of a credit card. You can put them in your wallet and break off like 1 gram pieces, if I have it correctly. Hello, Neil. Thank you again, Neil. Thank you, guys. Please, if you get a chance in the comments, say thank you to Neil and to Coin Shop Chris. They go a long way to make this happen, and they're great, great guys. Yes, Janet was evil galactic. Yes. YRS, crooks and thieves. Welcho Services. Yeah. World's worst military move ever. Hello, Just Jay. Thank you. Just thank you. All right, guys. This has been awesome. You're awesome, okay? I can't tell you how much it means that we get together. It's not RonTube, right? It's YouTube. This is your channel. You're making this happen right now. I mean, we established, which is just blows my mind, right? Every corner of the planet, Tasmania, in Australia, Iceland, Israel, Afghanistan, right? Paducah, right? California, Canada. I call it Canada. I love Canada. Canada, right? Everywhere. Brazil. You guys were making this happen, and it's really cool, and I really appreciate it, okay? Who knows where this can go, but we know one thing for sure, we'll be there together. Thank you, and I'll see you soon.